I'm playing this tune softly as in the morning sunrise, and this lesson is on hexatonics. Some of you might have heard of hexatonics, and some of you might be thinking, what the hell is he talking about now? Pentatonics, obviously, are 5-note scales. Hexatonics would be 6-note scales, but we're not really playing scales. So hexatonics is a bit of a different concept. What we're doing is we're taking two triads that do not share the same notes, and we're putting them together to create a sound, basically. And it's also referred to as triad coupling, which I think is a better term, triad coupling, because that's what it is. We're taking two triads and we're coupling them together, right? So if we have a C major scale, again, there's a PDF that you can download, and I'll show you what I'm talking about if you follow along in the PDF. If we take a C major scale and we harmonize it, we get a whole bunch of different chords, and on the 4th and the 5th degree, we get two major triads. So if we're in C major, we go to the 4th degree and the 5th degree, we get an F major triad, and a G major triad. And if I play those and keep going in the inversions, we're kind of creating that C major sound. So if you're aware of your modes, for example, D Dorian share the same notes as C major, right? So we can play those two triads over a D pedal. Right? So now we're creating the Dorian sound. And that's all it is. We're kind of, instead of playing the scale, we're finding notes and patterns from the scale to create a sound. So it can shift to D Lydian would be okay. Some of those work better than others because of the avoid notes and stuff like that. So I wrote a little lick here that works over D Dorian or G mixo or F Lydian, and you can find it on the PDF there. Over D minor. Okay. So we're playing softly as in the morning sunrise, and it's in C minor. The A section is in C minor. So we're gonna transpose this to C Dorian, and then it will be starting in here. So this is the lick you can find on the PDF. So let's try to play that over softly as in the morning sunrise. Okay, so there are other chords here, obviously, in the B section, and we need to find some triad couplings for those chords. Before we do that, I want to explore the possibility of using the melodic minor scale instead of Dorian. And all I'm doing is I'm raising the B flat to B natural. Right? So the same lick sounds like this instead. So that is an excellent thing. There's one augmented triad and one major triad. and I've created those from the 3rd and the 4th degree. You could also use the 4th and the 5th degree, but I prefer the 3rd and the 4th degree in this case because it defines that melodic minor sound. Those triads work over any mode of the C melodic minor scale, which is great. So let's see what that sounds like on this tune. So I'm treating the C minor A section as a melodic minor kind of sound. Okay, it's a little bit different. Sounds great, I think. What I'm going to do next is every time there's a dominant chord later in the B section, so the B section goes to A flat major 7, and then it goes to C altered. I'm going to treat this chord as a diminished harmony sound. F minor to G. I'm going to think of this chord as well as a symmetrical diminished chord, so I'm gonna play the C half whole over the C, F minor, D split to G, symmetrical diminished, or half whole starting with a half step. And if I use that scale, I can create a triad from the root and the tritone away. So C, F sharp, C, F sharp, and with the inversions, so if I play the same lick as before, but with these notes, so these two triads, the C triad and the F sharp, it sounds like F minor, D, and then I do the same thing with G. G, D flat, G, D flat, C minor. Okay, so let's do that and see what that sounds like. Here we go. Okay, moving on here. So, this sound, by the way, I think reminds me a lot of Pat Metheny's playing. I often hear him go. So you can hear a lot of players use this technique, even though they might not be thinking of it as hexatonics. And if you're interested in this stuff, I really recommend, I've recommended his books before, Jerry Bergonzi, Volume 7, Hexatonics. It's pretty thick, and page after page of that's possibilities. It's a good lifelong project. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on. Instead of treating the dominant chords as symmetrical diminished harmony, I'm gonna treat them as the altered. So if you know your altered scales, you know that the C altered is D flat harmonic minor, right? And the third and the fourth degree of that scale would be E and F sharp. So maybe it's easier to think of as C sharp melodic minor. So C altered equals C sharp melodic minor in the third and the fourth degree would be E and F sharp. So E augmented triad, F sharp major triad. Works over that chord. So the lick again now is going to sound when we hit the G, okay, so then it's an B augmented triad and a D flat over G, right? By the way, that's a great way to create melodies in your comping by using a root and those triads. Sorry. So now I'm going to do that. Okay, so you're noticing I'm not playing them necessarily as triplets. I'm messing around with the rhythm a bit. The next thing you can do is, once you're comfortable with this, is you can use this technique as a way to get kind of outside of the harmony. So what I can do, for example, I can pick a different sound over the C. Instead of Dorian, I can decide that I'm going to treat it like a diminished chord. C diminished. You know, so that would be a little bit outside. So the two triads from that scale, or two of the four triads from that scale would be F major and B major. So they're a tritone apart, right? So F major to B, F, B, F. What's interesting about this is that one of the triad sounds inside the F, but then the other triad sounds outside because it has that F sharp. So it's going to sound like inside, outside, inside, outside. Okay, so I'll show you what that sounds like. Okay, so I showed you a little bit on how I can create kind of an outside sound by using this technique. So obviously I'm overdoing it here, so I wouldn't normally play like that because it sounds too thought out. You want to have a more of a, you know, creative flow in your playing. But it's a good exercise to work this way and really explore the possibilities that these two triads give you, and it's a great technique, and I think if you work on it you'll find that it's really useful. So again, thanks for watching.